Picture this, a busy city corner. You know the sound, horns, chatter, the usual rush. But then, an old man sits down with a cello. He starts to play, and this incredible song just cuts through all the noise. A song that, it seems, could change everything. And yet, for some people, it changes absolutely nothing. So let's get into this story and figure out what is going on.
I want to ask you something right off the bat. Think about it. When life just drops a moment of real beauty or truth in your lap, completely out of the blue, what happens inside you? Do you even register it's there?
I just love how the author describes the cellist's music here. It's not just more noise in an already noisy city. No, it's a revelation. It's like this gift offered freely to anyone who happens to be there. A little bit of truth that cuts right through the static of our daily lives.
And here's the real puzzle, right? The cellist, Elias, he's playing the exact same song for everyone. The notes don't change, the melody is constant. So what gives? Why does it create four totally different results in the four people we're about to meet? To understand that, we're gonna need a key. It turns out this really modern story is actually built on a very, very old blueprint. And to unlock its meaning, we need to go way back. I'm talking 2,000 years back to a different kind of teacher. So the story we're digging into is a parable. And a parable isn't just a story for the sake of it. It's designed to show us something deeper. It's not just about what happens, but how something happens. In this case, how we receive truth. Okay, here it is, the big reveal. The Song of the Four Sidewalks is a direct, modern-day remix of the biblical parable of the sower. And in our version, the cellist, Elias, he's the sower. And that beautiful music he's playing, well, that's the seed, that little piece of truth being offered to everybody. So in the original parable, the sower throws seed onto four kinds of soil, and each one represents a different state of the human heart. Now, here's the most important part. The seed itself is always good. The quality never changes. The only thing that matters is the ground it lands on. These four soils are going to be our map for understanding our four characters. All right, let's meet our cast of characters. We're going to see exactly how each one lines up with one of those four soil types we just talked about. First up, we've got Catherine. She's a high-powered executive. Her mind is just a constant whirlwind of meetings, deadlines, conference calls. You know the type. She represents the hard soil, that path that's been walked on so much it's practically pavement. Nothing can get through. Now, for a split second, the music actually stirs something in her, a forgotten memory. But her focus on the next deal is so intense that she actively fights it off. And get this, she doesn't just miss the music. Her brain actually files it away as an obstacle. She shoves it aside. The seed literally just bounces off the path and is gone. Next, we meet the Miller family. They're on vacation, taking in the sights. They represent the rocky ground, so they hear the music and they love it. They react with this immediate but, well, pretty shallow enthusiasm. It's a fun new experience for them. Their reaction really says it all, doesn't it? For the Millers, this beautiful music isn't a moment of transformation. It's content. It's a great photo op, something for the Instagram story, a cool anecdote to tell folks back home. The seed sprouts, for sure, but there's no deep soil for it to root in. It just withers as soon as they turn the corner. Our third character is Leo. He's a young guy who just lost his job and, man, his story is tough. He represents the thorny ground. What's so interesting is that his heart is fertile ground. He hears the music and it genuinely moves him. It gives him this rare little glimmer of hope. But just as that hope starts to sprout, the thorns of his real life, late rent, job rejections, a bank account that's getting smaller and smaller, they just rush in and choke it out. That beauty almost feels cruel because it can't solve his very real practical problems. And just like that, the hope is gone. And finally, we have Maya. She's an art student, and she's been going through a massive creative block. She is our good soil. She's not just passively open to the music. The story tells us she's actively hungry for it. She's been ready and waiting for something true and beautiful to come along. And here's the key difference. Maya doesn't just receive the gift. She lets it transform her. That music takes deep root, it shatters her creative drought, and it actually produces fruit. She's inspired to create a new drawing. The seed doesn't just grow, it yields a whole harvest. So here's the quick and dirty summary. 4 people, 1 song. Catherine's heart is just too hard to let it in.
The miller's is too shallow for it to stick. Leo's is too crowded with worry for it to grow. Only Maya's heart is prepared and ready, allowing that gift to actually bear fruit.
Now, what's really brilliant about this story is that these aren't just four separate little vignettes happening in a vacuum. The author does this incredible job of weaving all their stories together, showing us that this is one single connected event, just seen from four different points of view.
Just look at this timeline. Catherine, the sharp-suited woman, gives the millers a pointed look as she rushes past them. Then the miller's daughter accidentally bumps into Leo while he's sitting on a bench. And after Leo leaves the corner, he happens to glimpse Maya sketching through a gallery window. See, these aren't plot holes. They're these amazing little threads showing just how carefully this whole thing was constructed.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the story kind of turns the camera back on us, on the reader.
At the end of the day, the point of this whole parable is pretty timeless. The quality of the song, of the seed, of that gift of truth, it never changes. Elias offers the same profound beauty to everyone. The only variable in the entire equation is the readiness of the soil, the state of the heart that receives it. And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. You know, life is constantly playing its music for us, in these little moments of unexpected beauty, in the wisdom of a friend, in a sudden insight. So the real question is, the next time that song plays for you, what kind of soil is it going to find?